talk about string basics, we've already looked at that. String methods, we've looked at that as well. If we need to traverse a string, we can use a while loop or we can use a for loop. So let's see, let me escape out of this and go into our code. Yeah. So what questions do you have before I jump into that real quick?
You mentioned that companies do have information that is kind of open to the public.
Yes.
When does that become a crime for you to access a company's website and information?
Yeah, it is actually very available for everyone. I don't think it's a crime. Normally, the companies just make sure that there are some things that anything that's not private or that's not private information, right?
Okay.
Private or personal information is what is protected, but everything else is public information. So let me give you a quick example here. I think I had it open before. No, not this one. This one probably. Yeah. So if you open this link, it's going to give you a file which is in a JSON format, and it's an API for. Let's open it up. Oh, I did not copy it. Okay, let's copy that. So yeah, it's just like visiting a web page, right? When you visit a web page, it gives you a bunch of information. So this is what the JSON information looks like. Got it? Not very intuitive for us, right?
Yes, you can use it to sell people.
So yes, it's public information. Anyone can access it. But what we might need to do here is if I select everything and copy it, right? And let's say I go into Visual Studio Code. I still have my Visual Studio Code not open. Or you can go into, there are many ways you can actually access the file. There are websites that will help you make it look pretty, but Visual Studio Code can also do that for you. Visual Studio Code also has a very useful tool that you can use. But once you get to that, you can copy that as, I think Twitter, what do you call it? Google and so on and so forth. They all have a bunch of data that they give you for free. You know, you can always use it. As you can see, this was a JSON file. Meanwhile, this is a CSV file.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's go first and check this first one out. Maybe it's still not there, but yeah, it's always available for you. Let me copy the next one and also check out the CSV file. I can't remember which one. Oh, this is for unemployment data. That's it. Let me go ahead and show you what a CSV file will look like. Hopefully it doesn't download it. Okay, so this is a CSV file, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't have that many data points. It has just 2. You can see the first value has 5 digits and it's separated by comma. The next value has 2. It's a decimal. Yeah. So you can see that clearly. But from there, let me actually, I want to make sure I copy this. Yes, let's save that. Right click, copy that. Once I copy this JSON, that way I can show you real quickly how you can update your JSON and look it, or rather make it look pretty in your Visual Studio Code. And no, it doesn't want to work with me. So list range, what was I doing here? Oh, that was a dice game. That was a long time ago. Oh. So my computer is being very annoyed with me today. Close this. And then come in here, close all this stuff. Oh, I didn't save it. All right, that's fine. I can still redo it. And then once this is set in, I'll go ahead and create a new folder. Cancel. I don't want to even mess with it. Yeah. So we are in day 6, day 5, day 4, day 3. Let's go out here and create a new folder for day 7. Once we got day 7 in there, within day 7 now, I'll go ahead and create a new folder, a new file. What was the name of this? Okay, JSON, GeoJSON counties, FIPS. Is that what it was? Yeah. So, oh, I see what happened there. So this CSV is actually just pulling 2 lines of code from here. But let me go ahead and copy this out again, just to make sure. Copy that, then go into Visual Studio Code. And it's quite a long file as well. So now that we've copied it, get in there. We're going to create a new file and call it FIPS .json. Once you do .json, you can see Visual Studio has given you that curly braces, which we use for dictionaries. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and paste rather than using V so we can all see what's going on. Oh no, paste. And it's still going to look scary, right? Just like it looked on there. Now everything is on there. It's showing me just one line. It's asking me, do you want to show the rest of it? No, that's fine. All I have to do here is right click and format document.
Okay.
Right click on format document. It takes its pretty time and it's going to set it up to be readable.
Okay.
So this looks better, right?
Yeah. Is there a possibility to maybe change columns and stuff in there?
Change columns in terms of
like in this file, if I wish just to have the state and the county.
Excellent. Yes. So the one thing you want to do is when you pull your mouse to the right next to the numbers, you can see how you can collapse them.
Okay.
Normally, you can tell from here, maybe collapsing the first one, that shows you the almost 460,000 lines of data in here. So let's go ahead and see if we collapse the features. So everything is within features. So this tells you that the key called type has a value of feature collection. Your next key is features. So if you check this as a dictionary, if you save everything from this file as a variable, it's going to save it as a dictionary. And you can look for features as a keyword. The features will give you all of these in here. But now when you start collapsing them, you will notice that there is quite a good number of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because yesterday I struggled with passing the JSON file.
Yeah.
Just because it's nested.
Yes.
And the reason I asked that question was, if I can just keep just the things that I need.
Yes. So for instance, in here, this would be one entry. That would be another feature. This would be another feature and another feature. And you can see that it's in curly braces, which means it's also a dictionary by itself. So I'll go ahead and select that, right click and copy. Yep, it's a nested dictionary. Exactly correct. And then let's go ahead and create a new file again in there and just say one. What number was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the fourth. County 4. Not JSON. And then paste that in there. You can see this is, let me delete that comma. This is 87 lines. So this is more manageable. Now you can see that within each of those features, you have a type. It tells you it's a feature. You also have properties. You have geometry, and then you have ID. So each one of those has 3 keys and value pairs. Each of those features have a type, properties, geometry, and ID. But properties also has a dictionary in it.
Yeah.
Right. So if you expand that, you see that properties could be the geo ID, the state, the county, the name, the LSAD, and the census area.
Yeah.
Now you also have geometry. Geometry is more broken up. Oops. You have type and coordinates. Coordinates has square brackets. What are square brackets representing?
A list.
Exactly. So coordinates are in a list. So if you expand that, you'll see that it is also a nested list. Okay. But in this case, I don't think it's really a list. This is more or less like a tuple because you can't really change the
just 2 pairs. Yeah.
Right. So the coordinates that make up this Chilton area, it's a polygon type, and it's made up of, starts from this longitude latitude to this longitude latitude. It builds up a shape of that particular area. So all of this is not personal information, it's public information that you can use to generate that. So that's how you get it. Now, if I go back to my code, if I can find it, you'll see that I pulled everything from, I had to import the library that allows me to open stuff from the internet. So I opened that URL and I saved it in the counties. So the response that I got after opening the URL, loaded it up, used JSON to save it to a county. Now my counties are listed. Let me go ahead and comment this out and maybe just uncomment this. So here I'm actually looking at the counties is the dictionary. The features that we looked at was one of those keys. So I want to see how many of those features are in there. If I execute this, it tells me there are 3,222 features. Right? So let me go back again to the code, which was this one. So if I start collapsing all of these, I'm going to have to collapse 3,000 of them. Now the features gave us this list. So it gave us a list. Within that list, we want to check out each of the items. So the first item, second item, third item. The fourth item is the one that we just opened up, right? So let's try to identify that fourth item. To do that, we have to give it a particular index, which is index 3, right? Because it's 0 based. So let's go ahead and print that. It's telling us that that has 4 items within it. We could also just go ahead and print the entire thing. It's going to show me what we just did. Oh no, no. Copied it. I did not copy that and delete that. So it's going to tell us, okay, the 4, and then you'll print it out. So let's run that. So this is what it looks like. Now you can tell that, okay, this is a dictionary. Within this dictionary, what am I interested in? I'm probably interested in the properties. So properties is the key.
Mhm.
So the properties key is this one. And within
Yeah.
that key, there's also another dictionary. Within that dictionary, I'm probably interested in the name,
The name.
right? So now let's go ahead and add again. In the nested one, we need to get the name. Now if we print this out, we should have, oh, what did I miss? Keyword properties. Okay. So it's probably wrong. What did I miss? Features, blah, 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 blah. I probably spelled it wrong. But let's see. Let me double check again. Let's print what we had earlier. Make sure I printed. So 1, 2, properties is the key. So let's go ahead and check properties. Let's see, place. It gets challenging.
Properties is lowercase.
Ah, very good. That's what the issue was the whole time, and I totally did not see it. All right, and name should be all caps. Otherwise, I'm gonna have issues with it as well. Excellent. So now we can go ahead and specify. Number 4 is Chilton.
Okay. Sorry. Can you go back to that file, just to the file itself?
Oh, to the file itself.
Yeah. So I see that we got into properties, which is no, we got into features.
Yeah.
Which is number.
So features. Let me go back in here.
Yeah.
So from here, we did not care about type. We wanted features, right?
Yes.
So everything is a feature. So we look at features which counted 0, 1, 2, 3. We are interested in this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Now within these features, we got this dictionary, which is the 3rd index, or the 4th index, which is 3. And within the dictionary, we want this particular key. This key gave us another dictionary. Within that dictionary, we wanted this name key.
Yeah, to get Chilton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, I would just can you share that code with me once you're done?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so
I got commented by this stuff yesterday. So
that's totally fine. So from here, you can understand now how we got the counties was the content that we got from the file.
Yeah.
We were able to dive in to the first key, and then that key gave us a list. We went into the 3rd element or item, and then we went into the key for that list and the key for the nested list. So that's what, let me comment this out. So that's what I'm going to use here to be able to print the number of counties. And then I look through each one of them, and I'm able to get what I'm looking for. So here, I'm going to say number of counties is the length of the features, which I already checked there. And then it's going to check for every item within this range from 1 to the length of those features, which are 3,022, something like that. I'm going to print each of the counties, features, blah, 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 state. So instead of name, it's going to print the state. It's going to add a column, and then it's going to print the name. So it's going to print all the states and the names. I don't think there's a value for state. The value for state is 01, which corresponds to Alabama, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. So let's go ahead and execute this. And now you're able to see the number of counties in that file, 3,221. And it shows you all the different files. You can see some of the counties. There are many counties in one state, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, this is cool. If I use this method to extract,
you should be able to get what you got from the internet, right?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for sharing that.
This is going to be a lot of scrolling to get to 3,000. So let me go ahead and comment that code back out. And then we can look at the next piece that I wanted us to check out real quick. So let's just leave it at where we were with our 2 lines of output. All right. So this is another example again. In this case, we're using Pandas. And we're reading a CSV file. For Pandas, again, somebody painfully already created that library for us. So we just go ahead, use that library, and we use the read CSV method. Put in the data, talk about the data type. This gives us just the top 5 records when you do the head. Now, if you go back to that code that we did, we can also use Plotly. Plotly is another library out there. Here, I'm importing it and using an alias. I say the figure should give me that, and then I use a particular method, which is a chloropleth map box. It makes your maps look beautiful, gives you all these different arguments that we can set. You know, we decide to centralize it at this longitude and latitude. We have labels that are going to be used, set up with opacity, and then go ahead, update the layout with the margins, and show it. So if I go ahead and execute this, you can see CPU usage is going up, so it's going to take a while. Yeah, it's asking me for DF. Where do I have it? Okay, that's because I did not run this first. So I have to import this data and get the data frame. So let's run that again. Now it knows what df is. Df is my data frame. If I execute that, it should be able to give me the output. So all of that, I didn't have to ask somebody to enter all that data. The data is already online somewhere.
Yeah.
I can go ahead and pull it and just grab all my information as I need it. Sounds good?
Yeah, no, good stuff.
Yeah. And you can also do that with anything else. So that's similarly what I did with what we had for what do you call the weather issue with the lights in Cameroon, to be able to pull that information. So I don't think I have that in here, but yeah, so that's an example of using inputs. And let's see, let me make sure I covered everything. Did we look at traversing a list? Not yet. I don't think it's something that's difficult to do. That's straightforward, right?
That's the
Yeah, to traverse a particular string or a file. So let's see if I can go through it. And the format operator, that's also straightforward as well. You know, how you get to use an operator, whether it's a digit, or should I say digit or decimal, or if it's an int, if it's a string, and so on and so forth. All right, so is there anything in particular that you like to look at? The one thing we haven't looked at is the file inputs, file manipulation. So let me go into that. Where is it? Right there. So in here, I downloaded the text file. Let me double click on it. It's a quite long text file, just a bunch of emails in here. You scroll down again, you see how many of them are in there. We can decide to say, hey, go ahead and use a handle, right? Just like we talked about in our example, we use the handle to access the file. Use the open function to open that file without any particular value. I think the default is the read, right? If you open a file without having the access mode, it's going to default to read. So I have so I have a variable which is count, just to keep track of the number of file lines, and then I can iterate through and say, okay, for each line in that handle, increment the count, and then at the end of the day, print the number of lines. So executing that again will give you something as straightforward as that. Sounds good.
Yeah, so you have 1909 lines on the file, right?
Yep. So if we go to that file and double check, maybe scroll down. Yep, that's the number of files in there. Sounds good.
Yeah.
We started from 0, so I think it's 1910. So we added one more at the end. Yeah.
Cool.
Good. What question do you have?